Alright, so it's been a long time since I have sat in a chair in my garage in front of a camera, talking to a camera, or anything to do with a camera. So bear with me a little bit on this, but I do figure that some time has passed. I'm finally settled for now, for a little bit, and I've got a little bit of extra time, so I figured I would crank out a couple videos and whatnot for the YouTube channel. That is the goal, at least. Hopefully this content makes its way to YouTube land and to you guys. So I owe you guys some sort of explanation. Not that I guess I don't owe it to you, but I've seen lots of comments. I've seen lots of speculation. We posted on our Facebook when we were done making the videos, or stopped back then and was like, you know, we're done, this is it, gave an explanation. Here's probably more of an in-depth version of the reasoning why. And I've also had some time to think about it. However, lately, I haven't been thinking about it too much. You know, it's been, I don't know, I think there's definitely been some time since me and Josh made the decision to get out of making videos. So I don't know I may not remember every single little detail that steered us this direction, but here's the main things. And I can say this moving forward, that I believe, you know, lots of discussion with Josh, we both are pretty much on the same page with all of these aspects of life, I guess I would call it. So, you know, he's not here, but to just make it simple, I decided to sit down and make this video. All right, anyways, enough rambling. So basically, I want to say before I ramble on even more is that's what this video is going to be. It's going to be talking about where I've been, why I stopped, and what I've been up to, what to expect moving forward with the channel, etc., etc. So if you're not interested in any of that information and you're looking for like a riding video, just click off, because that's not what this is going to be. So I tried very hard to YouTube. We'll start at the beginning. At first it was just for fun. Then as I devoted more and more time to it, I took it more and more serious, and I spent an extreme amount of time editing these videos. And then it kind of became more of a business than anything, which I will say, it did teach me a lot about the basics of business. So I had no intentions of like turning it into a business when it started, and things kind of snowballed a little bit, and it never made millions of dollars, but you know, it definitely taught me the basics of business, which was very cool. And I took it that way. You know, I made it an LLC, I made it like official and legit, and filed taxes and all that sort of thing, to kind of learn the basics of YouTube, or of business through YouTube. And so that was kind of cool. But that led me into, as time kept rolling on and on and on, as you guys saw near the end of the channel, Josh had a kid, I had a kid, and we live in Wisconsin. The only trails around here to ride are up north, about 4 hours north of us, to the closest trail. That's even worth riding, in my opinion. There is some other stuff that's local to here, but it's hardly worth riding at all, and definitely not worth filming. So that being said, I gotta think about how this conversation wants to go. But that being said, location was probably the biggest factor on why I wanted to stop riding and making videos and all of that, is because we would have to travel 6 hours to the closest off-road park, aside from the Badlands or the Cliffs. But we've been there so many times. We pretty much grew up going there out of high school, and we've been out both those parks so many times that you can only go to the same park so many times. That's not just how we started to feel. We were burnt out. And those are great parks, and things are, you know, they're awesome, but you can only do the same thing and make a video on the same obstacle with the same machine so many times. And so moral of the story, we start traveling out. You know, you guys watch the journey. We go to pretty much every park that we can think of that has gnarly terrain that we like to ride, which you guys all, if you've watched the channel, you've seen how we like to ride. But those were 6 to 14 hour drives, you know, one way for us. So it was a lot, you know, and before we had kids, it was fine. It was a lot more obtainable. And it's not that it wasn't obtainable even when having kids, but it was just, it began to become not worth it, in my opinion. As my daughter got a little bit older, I was like, man, sure, I could bring her with, I could bring the wife with, but I mean, what am I gonna do? Bring a 1-year-old rock bouncing? I know some of you guys bring your daughter, your kids with, which is really cool, and I definitely would have done that more often, which we did do that. It's just tough to make videos with a toddler and a baby and a family, and then the videos aren't exactly what the channel was, so it didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. So we decided to take a step back from off-roading, and when I say a step back, I mean it was completely sell everything and get out, which I know a lot of people that doesn't make any sense, but it was just the route we went. Me and Josh went to Moab. We went to Utah. We stopped at Moab for a couple days prior to going to Sand Hollow, where our families and our parents both flew out to Sand Hollow, and they drove to Talon, and it was a really cool trip. We really wanted to bring our parents out there and our families out there before we got rid of all of the machines. So I'm super stoked that we were able to do that. That trip was very fun. Moving forward to kind of more reason why I got out of it was also towards the end there, you guys may have remembered, I started up a trailer rental business. Well, learning what I learned from YouTube as a business, I decided I got an idea to open up a trailer rental business, as I had a plethora of different trailers, and always just been kind of into trailers, had a lot of different trailers. I was into cars, as you can see, one in the background, and just had trailers around, so it made sense. So I started that business, kind of snowballed, it took off, did really well, and I also, part of it was I decided to devote a lot more of my time to that. You know, I still work a full-time job. I did then, I do now. I still have a full-time job. It's hard to leave the career that I built as an electrician, but all I want to say is I decided it made more sense with where I'm at in my life to just devote energy into growing the business. Cost of living was going through the roof. We had freaking $50,000 machines, and it was just, you know, to go roll them down a mountain to make a video that you just made that made $200, and it's like, none of the business side of the YouTube didn't make sense. And when we lost interest in the hobby, I mean, what are you gonna do with the videos, you know? So it took the summer, and we drifted a lot. We got a lot into, we went deeper into cars, but like when I say deeper into cars, it's still on a budget. You know, my Corvette that I had is a C5 Corvette, bought it salvage, blah, blah, blah. Long story on that, which I might, you know, get more into that stuff in the future. We'll see. But anyways, it's way more budget friendly, and it's something that is local to us. We have multiple different tracks within, you know, a couple hours from our house versus 10 hours to go ride. So, you know, we have one local track that's 15 minutes away from home. So it's like we can do that on the weekend. We can bring the kids, the wives, the family. Like, it's just so much more obtainable to do that, and that's why we got into that hobby. However, if we lived down south, I know for a fact I would still have a side-by-side. But we don't live there, and it wasn't worth moving there. Our careers are here, family's here, so we're here. And also, I'll go back to that. Another fact of traveling to off-road parks, there's only a few places that we didn't get to that we like really wanted to go. But aside from that, we hit a lot of the stuff that we wanted to do. So it's like we began going back to Windrock again and again and again, and Black Mountain again and again and again. We went to Utah 3 times, you know, just all over. There's a couple places we definitely didn't hit that we wanted to, but it was kind of time. And another reason of leading into it was kind of time was, well, we found out Josh was having another kid. So we're like, man, leaving to go do this and roll our machines down hills and all this stuff while having a newborn and a toddler, not very feasible in our opinion. I know some of you guys do it, but we just chose the family and business life route over the YouTube travel and that route. And I don't know, it was a really tough decision because I devoted a lot of my time into making these videos for, I want to say it was like 4 years. I probably should have looked this up before making the video, but I think I tried for like 4 years, and to me, never really made it. It was a fun journey though, and I learned a lot. That leads into the next thing. I'm having another kid. So that was always part of life's plan, was to have another kid. and I decided, well, if Josh was having another child, and we were trying at the same time, like there's no way with all these young kids that we're gonna leave and go ride all the time, so we might as well just get out, and that's what we did. I don't really know how to wrap all this up. I don't know if I've hit all the topics, I should say. I could go deeper into a lot more things on like the industry itself, because like I said, we got kind of burnt out with off-road parks going to the same ones, but also it's pretty tiring, not like physically, but more like mentally when we were at the stage where even the built parts weren't holding up, and you know, every time you go out and ride, expenses aside from the lodging and the wheeling and the fuel and the travel and the time, but you know, you'd be breaking anywhere from $200 to $1,000 worth of parts, if not transmission for $3,000. Like you start adding that stuff up, and it's insane. So, which I know is part of it, but we were just kind of sick of doing it for years and years and years. So that played into it. The parts cost in my mind is crazy, because as we got into cars, to build a drift car, it was like so much cheaper and more readily available than it was to, you know, buy a set of axles and a diff or a side-by-side is absurd. It's like the price of this whole drift car. Like, how is that even mind-blowing, you know? So that kind of stuff was crazy, and kind of just had a big realization on all of that. But I know there's going to be hate. I know this is obviously an off-road channel, and I know a lot of you guys aren't going to like to hear any of those things, but it is what it is. So that's how we felt. I'm just giving you guys the truth. And we chose family and more local stuff and cheaper hobbies, and kind of went that route. And for me, I really dove into business. And I guess that'll kind of lead me down the next chapter of this video was, you know, started the trailer rental business, that spiraled, ended up buying a tractor, which you can see behind me, started renting that out. Then that spiraled, that did really well. The goal was always to rent my RV out, but when we were using it for the channel, I didn't. So when I shut the channel down, me and my wife rented our camper, our RV out a lot, and really learned about that business in itself, the ups and the downs. And there's some pretty big ups and downs there, I will say that. And we're thinking about expanding that aspect of life out too, buying another camper, another RV, and growing in that direction. We'll see, but that's definitely something that happened that was pretty crazy. Very time consuming, and I knew that the amount of time I was putting into these YouTube videos, I just felt like I could change my life drastically if I put that time and energy elsewhere, and that's what I did. So as you might notice, I'm in a weird garage. This isn't my shop anymore. And when I say in the beginning of this video that I was waiting for things to calm down, so after the summer, the business has all started to grow, family was growing, then we were looking to find a bigger house. So the shop that you guys probably seen all the videos in was at my house. The house was a little small for us, and it was a little outdated, and we decided to throw it up on the market and see what we would get for it. Ended up doing really well on that whole deal because we built the shop and did a lot to the house. So decided to buy a lot, cleared the lot myself, and we're building a house near where we were before. But yeah, so time is definitely devoted there. But we sold the old house, old shop, which was really sad, really sucked. That was supposed to be my dream forever shop, but you know, as life kind of moved on and grew, so does the house needs to as well. You know, and when I was younger with no kids and I bought that house, I didn't really fully understand, I guess. But not that it was a necessity, but it was definitely something that we wanted. So we made that. We're making that happen right now. And as we are right now, I found a house to rent for the year where we build the house. We're renting a house. Got pretty lucky into this pretty good sized 3-car garage, heated, insulated, all that nonsense. And that's where I'm renting for now, and while we build the house. So that's a little bit there. I know, going down a rabbit hole, I'm sure most of you guys tuned off by now. I don't really care. I feel like there is a lot of core people who message me. I wish I could get back to all the messages. You know, you guys are awesome. I appreciate all the kind words and good stuff that you guys send. You know, there is bad, but there's also good. So gotta try and dwell on the good. There's a lot of people that sent hate messages to me and stuff for stopping. It's just, that stuff's gnarly. And there is a side of that it's just, I don't know, unbelievable, I guess. But that's not what I'll dwell into. So that's fine. Moving forward, I wonder, I've been kicking around ideas now that things are calmed down a little bit. I still do have a passion for making videos and making YouTube videos, obviously, or I wouldn't even have bothered making this video. But I've been thinking about making more, using the channel that I've already built and have a little bit of a following from you guys. I'm sure a lot of you guys will tune out and won't watch the videos. But maybe making some more car stuff, maybe making some more of like bigger picture videos. So like dive into the businesses that I've built and kind of just make a channel that if I want to make a video that I'm passionate about and I want to talk about, that I've got a platform to put it on. I mean, I built the platform, I built the channel, I might as well use it, you know, instead of just letting it sit here kind of stagnant. And then if I ever do get into off-roading again, which I do see that happening, just in a different stage of life, when my kids are a little bit older, I could definitely see myself getting back into off-roading. Will it be in a side-by-side? I don't know. Will it be in a full-size rig? Honestly, not sure. I would say the nearer future would probably be a full-size rig because you can put car seats and whatnot in them, drive it on the road, and just more of a usable vehicle. But maybe down the road, get another UTV, and you know, if I keep the channel kind of alive, maybe it goes back that direction. Who knows? But just some random ideas I've got, you know, like I used to post the videos of like the ultimate tow rig with the camper or with the RV motorhome, or I would do like tow rig tests with the 1500 Silverado versus my brother's F350 like back in the day. Maybe more of that kind of stuff, or, you know, talk about like things that I look up that I never really found a good video kind of seeing what I wanted to see. So I know like garage tours, shop tours, and I'm going to be building a house, building a shop, and doing a bunch of cool stuff there, clearing a lot. So it's like there's a bunch of different topics that I could hit that are completely different than anything that's been on the channel before. So I know it won't perform the same, or maybe it'll reach new people and it'll perform differently, but who knows? So it's definitely making videos locally is way more obtainable than traveling across the country making them with a little family. So that being said, guys, I think I've touched it all. Hopefully this thing's still recording, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, this sit down with me. I was really on the fence of making it, but last thing I want to say, for those of you who made it this far, we did film videos, me and Josh, when we were out in Moab. We did get some really cool content. We hit the gnarliest stuff we could find in Moab the couple days we were there, and we filmed it all. I still have all the content. I'm working on editing it now that I'm fully moved into this new place. I have my office set up back again, and hopefully you guys are excited to see that. But just know the machines are gone. Off-roading is gone right now for us. So after Sand Hollow, if the channel continues, it'll be more of the topics that I was already talking about. But just know that there is a pretty cool series from Utah coming your way. I'm going to hopefully get them out after this video. But anyways, guys, thanks for everything. Thanks for sticking with me this long if you're still watching in this video. And hopefully you guys have a good one. And we'll see you in the Utah series. It's pretty rad. Lots of hot tub. Got some hot tub action, some cool drone shots. It was definitely a cool series to kind of end everything off on. But all right, that being said, guys, have a good one.